Hello, this is Critical Information Bureau coming from Hull, England. This is Eyon Akumbe speaking. We are the people that bring you the truth, nothing but the truth. Because the truth is what is going to set you free. We don't accept any donations. Please make all your donations through your LGAs, your counties, and your beloved interim government headed by Dr. Sako. Now, there is the conference that went on in Canada, the Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiations, or is it called a retreat conference that's going on in Canada? It is the word retreat is a shameful name. I don't know who came up with that name, but that probably explains what is going on, right? Retreat also means surrender. Those are people that are surrendering, which is fine. If you are in that group, then stay in your own corner. You don't interfere with the issues of Southern Cameroon at the moment. We are fighting. We are not retreating. Okay, I've listened to Secretary Chris, and I've listened to quite a few other people on this issue. So this is our take on it. Now, I want to explain the issue of what Southern Cameroonians are actually looking for. Because I think the problem with all these groups, Agobala and ADF, Cho Ayaba, and all the other group of people that are running around, Fontaine Neba, they seem to have missed the point. And that's why sometimes we call them enablers. All right, Dr. Munzo is another one. Okay, Dr. Munzo himself said a couple of weeks ago that Southern Cameroon did gain independence. I saw him on a video say it. I was shocked to hear Dr. Munzo say that. He did it. After he's fought and argued, he said last week that, yes, Southern Cameroon was given independence by the United Nations. Go and check it yourself. So what I want to do now is to try and explain to Agbobala, to Fontaine Neba, to Cho Ayaba, and to all those group of people who are gathering in Canada or they finished gathering in Canada, what Southern Cameroonians are looking for. Because I think that is the problem. There seems to be a serious confusion as to what is going on. Okay? La République, I know this is a cliche now and we are repeating it, but I'm afraid to say to my Southern Cameroon friends that there seem to be a misunderstanding amongst some people in Southern Cameroon. Okay? You can't throw the wool over our eyes. You know, if you play me Jambo, I know what my problem is. First one, La République has annexed Southern Cameroon. Where did they get that idea from, that they should annex our country? Who told them? Which authority told them? Was it the League of Nations? Was it the United Nations? Was it the United States? I don't know if you talk United States because they don't have the power to do that. So how did they come out with the idea that they should take over Southern Cameroon and make it their own and their president can rule us? How did they get the idea? Where did it come from? Somebody tell me, please. I would like to pass that message to all these academics who are now, who are running around in Canada. They should explain, please, to the common man. How do we end up being annexed by La République? What legal document justifies that? I need to know. Okay? And if we look at the plebiscite, when people went to vote to join La République, to join the other side, the plebiscite there's no point in that plebiscite which says you are now part of La République. It doesn't say that. There's no part of the plebiscite that says that La République should take over your country. There is no part of the United Nations document that says that. Because if it did, then that would not have been an independence. Will it now? it is the obligation of the United Nations to give independence to trust territories. They cannot sign off the independence of a trust territory if they actually take that trust territory and then hand it over to another trust territory. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You can't hand somebody over to another person and say, well, you are independent. You don't release a slave from one slave owner to another slave owner and say, well, you keep this man. He's no longer a slave, but you can hold him as your slave. Okay, I don't want to take, that is probably a strong example, but there is no point in this, in the UN or in the history of Southern Cameroon, United Nations, League of Nations, that gives authority of La République to control Southern Cameroon. The plebiscite manifesto clearly states that Southern Cameroon controls its resources. If this is the point of conflict, so let it be. They have no control over nothing, not banana, not palm oil, not timber, not oil, nothing. That is the plebiscite. That is from the United Nations. You cannot control Southern Cameroon. We had our own police force, which was designed and recognized by the United Nations that we should defend ourselves in the form of our mobile wings. Yeah, where is our capital, Biya? Where is the capital? You understand what I'm saying? So this is confusion. So Agbobala, with all his United Nations experience, he needs to explain to the people of Southern Cameroon how we end up in this mess. How come the president of Cameroon is controlling Southern Cameroon? That is the problem. It's not supposed to be controlling Southern Cameroon. If you say, well, we are in a relationship with La République, nobody is disputing that. But if you are running around saying, I'm a federalist, this is the question to Agbobala, Fontaine, and all of the educated people. Please, you are talking to also an academic here, right? Who are you preaching federation to? That is the question, which I think all of us are missing out, including our own supporters. Who is Agbobala preaching federation to? They've created this war between them, the Federalists, and the Southern Cameroonians. There is no conflict there, zero. And this is just another distraction. And for those of you who say you don't like Agbobala, and all those other people, please be careful what you say. Don't create a conflict that does not actually exist. And I'm going to explain what I'm saying. If Agbobala wants to preach federation, let him preach federation. But who is he preaching the federation to? Not us. Agbobala cannot come and preach federation to Southern Cameroonians. We have no problem. We have been annexed. That is the problem. La République does not want a federation. I will repeat this very slowly. La République du Cameroun does not want a federation. They never did. They haven't. They haven't asked Agbobala that they want a federation. They haven't asked Agbobala to be preaching the federation. And for God's sake, Agbobala cannot come to Southern Cameroonians and be preaching something that we haven't done anything about. We have not stopped the federation, have we? Can somebody tell me any Southern Cameroonian when the Southern Cameroonians stopped the federation? When did we close Biya? When? Did we stop Biya? When did we come to the Southern? Did Foncha come to the Southern Cameroonians and said Biya is no longer the capital? Well, he could have done, I don't know. Who closed the House of Parliament of Southern Cameroon? What happened to Bobby Joa? And then you go in through the institutions. I'm asking Agbobala, who are you preaching this to? The problem with academics, this is the problem with academics. They think, we think that we are intelligent, and then we use our intelligence in a negative way. And that's what Agbobala is doing, and Fontaine and all these guys. What they are doing is they are coming out with this idea that they are federalists. And then some stupid Southern Cameroonians want to argue with it. No, we are not federalists. No, that's not what you do. Ask him, who is he federating with? That's his question. Who are you federating with? And who are you preaching your federation to? Because we are confused. You can't come to us that you want to talk about federation. Well, you're talking to us. We were in a federation with La République. La République has basically stopped the federation and then annexed us. Instead for you to go to La République and be preaching your federation to the House of Parliament of La République, you are not doing that. You are coming to Southern Cameroon to tell us about federation. You go send Peking for school, you go learn, but you don't go understand the thing where you learn for school. Agbobala, you've been to school, but you don't understand what you learned in school. You don't have any understanding of it. I'm asking Agbobala, tell me, who are you preaching federation to? Go and have a meeting with Paul Biya, have a meeting with the CPDM party, sit in the House of Parliament, and then explain to them what federation is. And ask them the simple question: why did you annex Southern Cameroon? Ask them, Agbobala, come on, use your academic knowledge. You've worked for the United Nations, you are intelligent, so ask Paul Biya. Ask him the truth. Tell him how come we had a federation and then you turn around and annex Southern Cameroon. That's not, don't fight a war that doesn't exist. Do not fight a war that does not exist. And I'm warning Southern Cameroonians, when they're preaching this, their federation, tell them, excuse me, sir, I understand what you're saying. Go and meet the person that has caused the problem. Because we Southern Cameroonians are not the ones who stopped the federation. The guilty party here is Ahiju's government. The guilty party here is La République. The government is sitting there in front of you. So stop coming to Southern Cameroon and start calling us separatists, that you are different, you are now effective. To who are you preaching? That's what I need to understand. You are preaching to the wrong people. Go and meet Paul Biya and say, excuse me, sir, Southern Cameroon and you were in an equal relationship in a federation. Go and tell Paul Biya that. And ask Paul Biya, excuse me, Mr. Biya, how come you have now taken over Southern Cameroon? That is a simple question that Agbobala should ask Paul Biya. Not to be drinking with him and dancing and then come round and start throwing insults at Southern Cameroonian for not being Federalists. And then some Southern Cameroonians are fighting him. That, oh, we are not Federalists. No. Federation is not the issue here. That is not the issue in discussion here. The problem here is annexation. That is your problem. If Agbobala has some emotions about the days of federation, and he should first of all ask himself the simple question: who stopped the federation? And once you ask himself that question, Agbobala is an academic. When he asks himself the simple question, who stopped the federation, then Agbobala surely, you will then go and find that person who stopped the federation and start talking to them. You don't need to go to Canada. You've been to them in meetings in Cameroon. So go and ask them, how come Biya is no longer the capital of Southern Cameroon? Ask Paul Biya, let him explain to you why. And if you insist that, if you think that Biya should be your capital, Mr. Agbobala and Mr. Fontaine and Dr. Munzo and all of you fuckers, if you feel that Biya should be your capital, then please, can you tell Mr. Paul Biya that, excuse me, we are not your country. In this federation that we had, Biya is our capital. And simple as that. We need our prime minister. We need our mobile wings back. We need to have a clearly defined border. And then you get into some of the assets of Southern Cameroon. Where is Tico Airport? What happened to PWD? Blah, 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 blah. Who are you talking to, Mr. Agbobala? You should be talking to La République. Okay? You should be talking to La République. So I'm very shocked that these guys are taking a position now where they are. La République now is their friend. Listen to this, Southern Cameroonian. La République is now their friend. They're the Federalists. Then now they are fighting again. Now they are fighting against us, the Southern Cameroonians, who did not do anything. We did not stop the federation. We did not close our capital. We are still talking about Biya, our capital. We want to go back to our capital. We're telling them. We're singing songs that we want to go back to our capital, our country, until we reach Biya. Agbobala is now a friend of La République, and he's now accusing us for not being federalists. Crazy people, the day for this world, Southern Cameroonian. They are accepting Southern Cameroonians that people have spent money to send them to school, but they are not using the brain. They're not using their brain. They're not using their brain. They have created a group of themselves that they call Federalists. And they are now attacking the victim. You see? La République has stopped the federation, annexed Southern Cameroon by force. Their president is now the president of Southern Cameroon, and they've changed the name to La République du Cameroun, which is their own name. Now they have taken you by force. Instead of Agbobala, listen to me. Instead of you to go and talk to La République and say, what the hell are you doing? You are turning around and saying, I'm a federalist and I want to fight against the interim government. What did the interim government do? Are they the ones who have annexed Southern Cameroon? If Agbobala is talking about federation, then Agbobala is against the annexation. He has to be honest. You can't be mixing stories. If you are going around saying we want a federal state, we want to go back to the federation, yes, so go to Paul Biya and say that to him. Don't come to us. And if you say that you want federation, what you are saying is, and we have to be honest, there's no lies here. What you are telling Paul Biya is, let's be honest, Southern Cameroonians. I know some of you just hear the word federation and you don't think anything. Let's listen. If these guys are preaching federation, first of all, they should be preaching to La République, who is the one who stopped the federation. But what they are telling La République is simple. This is what it is. Southern Cameroonians need to control their resources. Southern Cameroon need to control their army. Southern Cameroonians need to have their prime minister. Their capital is Biya. They should be having international negotiations with other countries, which Foncha did several times. Okay? You need to follow logic, and you need to use the school, the education that you had in school to act correctly. All right? So that's what you're asking Paul Biya. Forget about the word federation. You are asking back Southern Cameroon sovereignty. Well, that's what you're asking, Agbobala. Let's be honest. You are asking Paul Biya to give back your country. But instead of going to tell Paul Biya in a meeting with Paul Biya, you're running to Canada to be telling people how you want one Cameroon and how you believe Cameroon is one and indivisible. That's the next thing I want to talk about. Agbobala, where did you get the phrase Cameroon is one and indivisible from? Was it from Foncha? Was it from the United Nations? Was it from the League of Nations? Which authority tell you, Mr. Agbobala and Fontaine and Eric Chinje and Mr. Muzo and all of you people, where do you get that information from? I need to know as an academic. As an educated person, we need to know. Where do you get the statement, Cameroon is one and indivisible from? Did you get that statement from a primitive Bulu Beti Ewondo man who has failed for 40 years to run his own country? No road, no ambulance, nothing, and he's an ex-Cameroon? Is that where you got that information from, Agbobala? Talk to me. Is it that primitive Ewondo man, Mr. Paul Biya, who told you that? You are not even ashamed of yourself to be annexed by one of the most primitive African tribes from Central Africa. You, black man, you are being annexed by another goat. How can you stand up and say that a Betibulu Ewondo people from Yaoundé have annexed you? You don't have no shame in you. Absolutely none. Where do you get the statement Cameroon is one and indivisible from? He's not going to tell you. Nobody said, okay, to end this conflict, nobody said Cameroon is one and indivisible. Nobody said that. It's just Bulu people. Ewondo Betty is them who made that statement. And then an educated Bayangi man like Agbobala, I'm ashamed of him. It's running around, Cameroon is one and indivisible. Cameroon is one and indivisible. Copycat. If you want to copy something, copy from some people that you can. You copy from Nelson Mandela. Agbobala, copy what Nelson Mandela said. You understand? Marcus Garvey. Copy what they said. Come and tell us. Come and tell us what Martin Luther King said. Not what that primitive dog who needs to be shot in the head. That primitive Ewondo man, Paul Biya said, Cameroon is one and indivisible. Where did you get that phrase from? Una ask Agbobala. The other thing they are saying is that, according to Secretary Chris, these primitive people who are gathering in Canada, they said that they are neutral. They are neutral. They are neutral against all the 500 villages that has been burnt. They are neutral. After the Republic has, they burnt, I just saw them lighting up Ngokotunja recently. Agbobala and his group are neutral. Did we go to Yaoundé to burn their houses? No, they have come to Southern Cameroon to burn our houses. They are coming with their soldiers in Southern Cameroon with all the weapons they have. The latest one, we saw some tanks going to go and fight. They are coming to fight. We are not going there. Some of us would like this Southern, our soldiers to go and attack them in their country, but no, that's another story. They are coming to our place to fight. Instead of Agbobala to tell them, as an educated man, that's why you send your picking for school. Instead of Agbobala and Fontaine, but to tell our Republic, to be honest, and say, excuse me, your soldiers are causing disaster in Southern Cameroon. Tell him the truth, Agbobala. Tell him the fucking truth. You then have a baby shot in the head because they saw a Wondo soldier look for 500 francs. It blew a child's head. You've left all of that. Yeah, they went to DDR, grabbed 2 kids, shot them. They're shooting people all over the place. And you go to there and say, I'm neutral. You're neutral. I don't get what you're saying. I really don't get what you're saying. The American government is not neutral. The United States is not neutral. The United States are giving Cameroon government sanctions and passed resolution, taking all their weapons from the from La Republic. Is that neutrality? They are not neutral. They have asked La Republic to stop killing Southern Cameroonians. Agbobala hasn't. Agbobala is actually a friend of the people that America doesn't like. He says he's their friend. Great Britain is not supporting La Republic. They might be doing contracts, but the official position of the House of Parliament of this country is that Southern Cameroon is a country. They've discussed it in our House of Parliament in England. Agbobala doesn't know that. The United Nations is not neutral. The United Nations has asked that government to go back to the root causes of the problem. And the root causes of the problem, Mr. Agbobala, is the fact that Southern Cameroon has been annexed by La Republic against the United Nations. Okay? And what Agbobala should be talking about, when you talk about ceasefire, what you should be talking about is La Republique should stop sending soldiers to Southern Cameroon. Okay? La Republique should stop sending soldiers to Southern Cameroon. That's what we should be talking about. Now, I'm going to wrap this up because it's very annoying and I can go on for about 5 hours of talking. I will give other people the floor to speak. But before I end this discussion right now, I want to wrap this up and explain to you why perfectly normal Southern Cameroonians are behaving in a way that it is completely bewildering and strange. There are two possibilities here. The first one is that they are selfish, which means that at some point in time, they saw themselves as leaders of the Southern Cameroon case. Agbobala, case in point. Fontaine Neba, case in point. Cho Ayaba, case in point. There are people that have been abandoned by the Southern Cameroonians. They are. Because they are stupid. That's what it is. And so what they've done is they're angry. So they formed a small group and to come and complain. All right. But the truth of the matter is, it's not going to work. Nobody is going to listen to them. The other possibility again is that La République has military operations in Southern Cameroon, which are not going very well. And they're getting pressure from the international community to do something about this. They've been given multiple warnings by America. They are under severe pressure from the United States. They are. The American government has asked them to give Southern Cameroon sovereignty. And American government has abandoned that stupid special status business that they gave us. America doesn't care about that. The American government has said they don't care about the special status. Southern Cameroon needs autonomy. So what is Cameroon government doing? Trying to pretend that they are doing something. And what are they doing? They are sending fake people in Canada to be doing something. They know that nothing is going to come out of that. And Cameroon government knows. Agbobala knows that nobody's going to listen to him. We're not listening to him now. We haven't listened to Agbobala for the last 3 years. Okay, so why should we suddenly listen to Agbobala because he's gone to Canada? May someone explain for me, I beg. Nobody is listening to Agbobala now. Since he started talking his rubbish about one indivisible Cameroon. So why should people listen to Agbobala just because he's gone to Canada? Cho Ayaba is the most hated Southern Cameroon. There's no other Southern Cameroonian that is hated as much as Cho Ayaba. So why should anybody listen to Cho Ayaba now? Because he's gone to Canada. Why? Fontaine Neba. I don't even know the last time I heard about Fontaine Neba. He's been a controversial character. Who is going to listen to Fontaine Neba now? No one. Now, these boys know that nobody listens to them. They can see that themselves. So what are they doing? They are buying time for La République, telling the international community that we are sorting the problem out. These are Anglophones who are now discussing democratically and they are trying to find a solution to a one Cameroon. It's a trick. It's always a trick. Okay? They know, La République know that the position of Southern Cameroonians now, with all the education that we've given them, with all the available information on the internet from the United Nations, Southern Cameroon is a country, period. Southern Cameroon is a country. And all these people who are running around, trying to throw smoke screens around, trying to talk about Cameroon is one and indivisible, we one federation, all of that is to counter the truth. They are frightened of the truth. And they are frightened. And they are frightened with their sponsor, Paul Biya. They are all looking at it. And they have nowhere to go. So now, they are all banding together to try and create a delay tactic. It is a delay tactic. That will give Paul Biya time to be shooting people in Southern Cameroon. And hopefully, fingers crossed on his behalf, that by the time all these 3 cards is over, they might declare some kind of victory against the Southern Cameroonians. It's a delay tactic. None of these boys is popular. Not one. None of them. So why do they think that they're not representative of Southern Cameroon? They are one of the worst Southern Cameroonians. They are now in Canada. They know that nobody is listening to them. They must know that. They must know. So what are they going to achieve out of this? Delay tactics. We don't enter Gokutunja. We don't enter for Bui. So we'll go off, we'll fight in Bui, and then we might be able to kill Field Marshal, no pity. We might kill the Field Marshal of Libya, and then we might secure this area. We might secure, but we need time. American government is putting us under pressure. So what we'll do is we'll send these Anglophones, just like they send our poor Prime Minister, the one that has been kidnapped, Mr. Ngute. They send him before they attack Gokutunja and these places. What they do, they send the Prime Minister go there and say that you want peace. The next minute, armies have gone into Bui County. A few days later, after the Prime Minister comes and makes a smoke screen that he wants peace, what happens? They send their soldiers behind in Gokutunja, in Bui County, to kill people, burn villages. Okay, where they do that against the backdrop of the Prime Minister preaching peace from the position of the government. Master, you know something? If you don't get sense for this world, just leave the struggle. These guys are playing you trick card all the time. So the Prime Minister goes there to give the impression that the Cameroon government wants peace. But a few days later, what happened? They send soldiers to Bui County to burn villages and look for Field Marshal no pity to kill. But at the front, you see the Prime Minister smiling. We want peace. It's the same thing Agbobala is doing. Paul Biya has gathered them, giving them some cash. I don't know why Chris Ano is asking who is sponsoring them. We know. So he sends them forward to go to Canada and to be dancing and pretending that the government of Cameroon has a political solution to this problem, a peaceful solution to this problem. Preach peace, preach peace. At the same time, they are recruiting Betty Bulu Ewundo boys, giving them guns, giving them bullets, giving them rocket-propelled grenades, giving them chemical weapons, and then sending them to Southern Cameroon to kill. And then now, if you want to say, but you just killed somebody. No, we didn't. We are looking for peace. That's why we sent Agbobala to Canada to go and talk peace. Why did Agbobala not tell La Republic to withdraw their troops? He can't say that. He's been paid to say what he's saying. All of them. They've been given a script to read there. They're not saying what they believe in. They're not saying what they believe in. They have been sent there by La Republic for delay tactics. So that when they start killing Southern Cameroonians again, as they do, that's going to be happening under the cover that they, La Republique, is a peaceful nation and they are looking for a peaceful solution. It is a lie. This is Critical Information Bureau coming from Hall, England. Eyong Akumbe speaking. Until next time, stay safe.